Fridays mean unplugged on 702.
Yes, they do. And this afternoon, we bring you 702 Unplugged. And the performance you can anticipate in a matter of a few minutes is that of South African singer-songwriter performing rock, soul, and infused with blues. And that's none other than Mark Haze. He's incredibly vocally gifted. And that's why he's done as well as he's done over the years. But he kicked off his career and became we became aware of him, especially in the public eye, or he came into the public eye after he was runner-up in Idols back in 2011, which assisted him in securing a record deal with Universal Music. And then he went on to release Where Angels Fear to Fly. And before that, though, Mark had won American Idol experience at Disney World in Orlando. And it's sort of like a condensed version of the hit TV show, which presented him with a golden ticket for the actual full-length contest. Can you imagine? But he wasn't able to go through to that one. But since then, he's managed to do really wonderful things, including the release of his latest album, which we'll talk about in a bit. But he's opened for bands like Seether, and he was the official supporting act for Bon Jovi on their South African tour. And he certainly positioned himself as one of South Africa's premier live rock acts. And he joins us this afternoon ahead of his performance for 702 Unplugged. Hello, Mark.
Hello, how you guys doing?
Very good. Welcome. Welcome to 702.
Thank you. Thanks very much.
So you are going to be performing, you're going around, you've got a couple of performances coming up. They've actually had to be postponed to August. But it's like a stripped down tour, but it's not quite stripped down. I just love the concept that you've put together for this upcoming tour. So where did the idea come from? And give a sense to our listeners about what it means to be stripped, your definition of being stripped down.
Well, my definition of stripped down is that you don't have to necessarily make everything slow and somber just to strip down a song. What I used to do when we were still performing with our bands, pre-2020, sounds so weird to say it out loud, but is in the middle of the show, I really like to give the band a break, and then I step out on stage, just me and the acoustic guitar. And I'll maybe do like a song or two just on my own, me and the audience. And from there, I started experimenting with like a little loop station pedal, which allows me to play the guitar back to me and I can add other things on top. And then as the lockdown happened and as we started getting delayed in terms of whether we were going to be playing again and where we would perform. And when it was very certain that we were about 2 months in and there was no way we were going to be leaving our houses, I started trying out some new equipment, new things. And I brought in a little drum machine and I brought in a vocal pedal that does vocal harmonies. And next thing you know, I was testing it out in my studio at home and the sound was as big as a band. And it made me realize like, wow, I could strip the whole show down to nothing, build it back up from something. And then next thing you know, it's as big as that. And then I started trying it out to see how it would go live. So the second we were allowed in level 3 to come back out and perform, I was able to go to some smaller venues that I don't normally get a chance to play at, like wine farms and restaurants and things like that, a lot of private functions. And I started giving it a go just to see how it would go, and people have been blown away by it. And that's just really brought a new dimension to my performing. So it means that I'm not hindered. It does suck that I can't use my band for now because that is still my favorite way of performing. But it just sparked off a whole thing. And I made 2 albums in 1 year. The first was a standard Mark Haze album, which has been released now. But in the interim, we released an album called Why Not? And the name was obviously like, why would you do this, Mark? And the answer was, well, why not? We have all the time in the world to sit in studio and do this. And it was all stripped down versions, all made from scratch from the beginning to the end. And I've now taken that live. And that's what I'm touring.
So
that's
your
what
fans
I
are
like.
loving it.
It's interesting,
so your fans are absolutely loving it. But Mark, it also suggests that you're really well versed in different instruments. Yes, the loop station I can understand, but you layer it, of course, with drums, with the guitar, with your vocals. So you're proficient and quite talented in more than one instrument.
Yeah, it's tricky. Look, guitar has always been my favorite instrument to play. It's always been my number one, and I don't think I'll ever stop. But because I can play piano and drums, keyboard, bass, guitar, and little bits of other things, and I'm at least understand the intricacies of those things. So I'm all right in using the acoustic guitar to make percussive sounds, or to give it like a violin effect by using a certain pedal or something like that. So I add those things into the show. So you know, when the mess of the music is all kind of together, you don't realize like it's just an acoustic guitar or an electric guitar making this stuff happen, but it sounds like an orchestral part, or it sounds like it could be a keyboard type of thing. It's just the way, like I'll drop the plectrum and I'll play with my fingers, or I'll actually beat on the guitar to get like a shaker type of effect and scratch across the strings and stuff like that to get the effects that I want. And it's cool. But right about the second or third song in the show, what makes it even more fun is that I get the audience involved and I show them how to make a song from scratch. And that from that moment onwards, they're like forever fixed into whatever I'm doing, which is wonderful and so scary at the same time, because I'm used to performing on big stages, you know, and I'm used to performing for like a mass of people where you don't really get to see everyone's faces. The light's always kind of flickering in your face. And thanks to this show, I am forced to go play smaller venues. And, you know, even better when we were limited to 100 and even then 50 people at our shows, they're like right there, like right in front of me. So the show is perfect for that, because they actually get to see what I'm doing. They can see my feet. Totally. And I'll admit, I'm not used to it. And it makes it just so much more exciting for me. So I think that when I'm telling jokes and I'm laughing with the audience, it can go so off script. It's not funny. You know, well, hopefully it is funny, but yeah, it's a whole new world for us.
Yeah, we've got to get to the music because you've prepared some music for our listeners this afternoon. But the dates have had to be changed. You've now moved them to August. Can you just give us a quick sense of where our listeners can catch you?
Well, right now, they haven't been moved officially. We're still waiting for Mr. Ramaphosa to let us know this Sunday what exactly is happening. So everything's kind of in limbo. But yeah, some dates from the Cape Town leg of the tour have definitely moved, because I would have been on the road right now performing. But as far as the Gauteng, Pretoria, Hartbeespoort, that sort of thing, that is in the third week of July. So I don't know. I don't know if I should have my fingers crossed or if I should be hoping that he doesn't allow us open, you know, because this virus is a very serious and scary thing. Yeah. So, I'm a little bit in and out of things. But what I can tell the listeners out there is that have a look at my Facebook page and my Instagram page, and keep an eye out for what the announcements will be. Because if we don't get to hit the road in the next week, then I will be doing some online performances through various different streams and channels, and I'll put all that stuff on my site. So you'll get to see the show. Yeah. And that might actually be a little bit cooler, because you'll get cameras on my feet and my hands and everything else that's going. But keep an eye on my social media.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Then you're exposed.
We'll do. And on Instagram, it is the real Mark Haze. So go off and follow him. Mark, I think we better get to the music before we get a protest on our hands. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me. What a pleasure. Thank you.
That is Mark Haze. And after this, his 702 Unplugged performance.
You expect to be the one to set things right, when you chose to be the knife that's in my side. Said you didn't want to be unfaithful, left me wondering. Will you call me up to beg forgiveness? Will you call me up most every night? But it's way too late to deal with broken hearts. Close my eyes, no reply, 'cause I can't forgive you. I can't forgive you. So you wanna feel alright with your decision? You say I'm just a boy who let you down. Is that all that it takes to be unfaithful? Keep pretending not the one who played this clown. I took your number on my phone, 'cause all I want is to move on. There ain't no going back from what you've done, so please leave me alone. Will you call me up to beg forgiveness? Will you call me up most every night? But it's way too late to deal with broken hearts. Close my eyes, no reply, 'cause 'cause I can't forgive you. I can't forgive you. If I see you as you walk into the club, best believe you better walk on by. 'Cause girl, you'll never be part of my life. Say goodbye. Will you call me up to beg forgiveness? Call me up most every night, but it's way too late to deal with broken hearts. Close my eyes, no reply. Will you call me up to beg forgiveness? Will you call me up most every night, but it's way too late to deal with broken hearts. Close my eyes, no reply. Will you call me up to beg forgiveness? Will you call me up most every night? It's way too late to deal with broken hearts. Close my eyes, no reply. 'Cause I can't forgive you. I can't forgive you. I can't forgive you. I can't forgive you. I can feel it now. I hear you calling out my name, back on solid ground, and the song remains the same. I know I'm doing alright though. I found my halo. It's dirty and gray though, and hearts on fire, souls ignite. Pain and sacrifice this night. Hearts on fire, souls ignite. And I know I'm doing alright. Yeah, yeah. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-da-da. I can face it now, and I got one more place to go. Walked a million miles, now I'm stronger than you'll ever know. And I know I'm doing alright though. I found my halo. It's dirty and gray though, and hearts on fire, souls ignite. Pain and sacrifice this night. Hearts on fire, souls ignite. I know I'm doing my time. I found my halo. It's dirty and gray though. I've been lost in yesterday's delights. Sold for silver pennies, gold and wine. Found me walking circles in my mind. Free from my own wreckage, I'm alive, alive. I know I'm doing alright though. I found my halo, shining inside of you. rolling, tumbling, holding on tight. Baby, you wake me, you shake me, you take me completely. Pick me up from my daydream. Wake me up from one more fright, one more lonely night. Oh, I want you. Afraid, stage is empty, spots are fade. Draw your lines, it's wearing me out. The monster within you, bringing me down. But it's cold inside my shell. The hole you dug is a living hell. I'm bruised too easily. Do you see me?
Fridays mean unplugged on 702.